They are members in the Brixton Unemployment Office and on occasions at the instruction of the National Executive Committee of CPSA, who've supported some of the causes that they've been involved in.
Do you think that there has been any political or even punitive element to these dismissals?
I don't think there's been any political element in it at all. I think there is a punitive element because the membership, the CPSA membership at Brixton, have shown themselves prepared to take action over their local working conditions. And the regional and national management of the Department of Employment have seen fit to blame the agitation in the office on their two elected branch officials.
If today's protest does fall on deaf ears, what happens next?
Well, we've already made suggestions to our National Executive Committee that there should be further strike action in the Brixton Benefit Office, probably over the next 2 or 3 weeks. And we would see further protests being staged up and down the country by other members and branches of CPSA. So the feeling of the membership is that management can't really do this to elected honorary officials who are doing their own job. They can't use a totting up procedure to say 1 crime, 2 crimes, and then you're dismissed, when the total of that is no more than absence for about 2 days on one case.
The Department of Employment said today that the dismissals came about because the men took unofficial time off for these protests. They added that today's disruptions were minimal. Anthony Lee for Thames News.
Now sport, and with the growing trend to professionalism in most sports, it seems that even the innocent pastime of throwing a frisbee around hasn't escaped the advent of money and the pros, as Jerry Harrison discovered today in Regent's Park.
For 25-year-old Sue Buchelman from Portland, Oregon, the sport of frisbee disking is much more than fun. Along with her husband Jay, it's her living. And at the Richmond Athletic Ground this weekend, there'll be a few competitors in the European Championships who'll wish they had the Buchelman's skills and earning power. The nut who started throwing Ma Frisbee's pie tins around at Yale over 30 years ago didn't know what he was letting the world in for. It's now big business, and there are rumours that the sport is hoping for Olympic entry in 1984. Well, they're being held in California, so anything could happen.
We've been a full-time professional frisbee player since 1976, but we've played, frisbee since 1974, right in that area.
Jay, I know you come from a fine old frisbee family. Did you actually meet, the two of you, in frisbee?
No, we actually met 3 years before we began playing frisbee together. It kind of keeps us together, I think, because it's something we can do together.
But it's frisbee golf, isn't it, Jay, which is developing most just recently?
Right. It seems to be the biggest sport growing now in frisbee. There's courses popping up all over the country in the U.S., and there's some here in the U.K. too.
The boxing champion John L. Gardner appeared at Old Street Magistrates Court today on burglary charges. Gardner, who is the British and European heavyweight title holder, is also charged with demanding money on a forged cheque and the dishonest handling of property. He was remanded on £5,000 bail and will appear in court again at the end of the month.
Now, if you have time on your hands tomorrow and Sunday, here's all you need to know about Dinosaur racing, the man who fought Bruce Lee and Winnie the Whale. Yes, it's all in Weekend Whale.
In a desperate bid to find a winner, I've discovered a new sport, dinosaur racing. They're off and running at 2 tomorrow on Turnham Green, where I watched the beasts in training this week. And there they are indeed, and they're overweight jockeys. Well, after all, one is a master baker and a solicitor. And here they come. I think they go faster than my tips, especially the number 6 that gets up here on the line to win by 1 billion years. It's odd what you can come across in a backyard in Finsbury Park, of all places. The late film star, Bruce Lee's partner in Kung Fu, Don Inosanto, for example.
At the 1964 International Karate Championships, and I was the elimination chairman at that tournament. And I was so impressed at this young man's knowledge, and he seemed to be more knowledgeable than a lot of other Kung Fu instructors that I had studied under. He had charisma, definitely very talented, and the talent he put to great use by practicing.
And in The Big Boss, he talked to you about it. What did he tell you about it?
At that time, he said he'd like to raise the standard of Chinese Kung Fu so it could be appreciated in the Western world. And that's his whole object, was to boost up the Chinese martial arts, or Oriental martial art in general.
Wish I could fight like that. I've heard of acting the goat, but tonight, 3 Lithesome ladies act the cow in North London.
We've had a very good response from our audiences so far. I think mainly because we're giving them something new. We are Britain's first all-women mime troupe, and I don't know if we are in the world. And all the mimes, there's a lot of mime about today, but it's all the same kind of thing. Everyone's doing an everyman, And we don't think we're doing in every woman, but we're certainly exploring things that we haven't seen done before.
Moo! Enough to make you a humanitarian. There's a Mr. Fish at the Thames Water Authority, a bookmaker called Stallion, and I'm lumbered with a name like Whale, so it had to happen. I had to meet Winnie the Whale at Windsor Safari Park.
A lot of intelligent animals out there. They're lots of fun to work with. On days like this when it's nice and sunny, get in the water with them, play with them. A lot of fun.
What did you do before this?
Believe it or not, I was in supermarkets. I was 10 years just a grocery manager.
Do you ever meet any of your old mates from supermarket days, and what do they think of you?
They can't believe it. Like me, I can't believe it.
When you put your head in the whale's mouth, what do you think then?
Nothing. I know she won't do me any harm. I'm proud because it shows the people that there's an alternative way to killing these animals. You can work with them and you can build up relationships with them, and there's trust between the two of us.
The Greenwich Festival starts tomorrow and runs till the end of the month. On Sunday, local folk singer Joe Stead has his birthday party in public with a great cast of folk stars.
Mary, Mary, get out of bed as fast as you are able. Mary, Mary, get out of bed. We need the sheets for the table. Early in the morning, early in the morning, early in the morning, before the break of day.
Lovely Joe Stead. Well, they race at Sandown Park, Esher tomorrow, take Heron's Hollow in the 2:45 and Glyndebourne in the 3:20. And have a good weekend.
Thanks, Michael. And now for weekend sailors, the high tide times tomorrow at London Bridge, it's at 15:35, and at Dover it's at 12:50. And the pollen count was 94, which sounds exceptionally high. Here's Francis with an explanation and the weekend weather.
Oh, a sunny day, southerly wind, light breeze, buoyant air at grass level. That invariably gives a high pollen count, as we had this afternoon. The small hours rain, that pushed way clear of us during this morning, but now there's this rain again coming up from over France. The flow's so flabby over us that confidence is a bit low on the timing, but this rain should move into the south of the country in the early hours tomorrow morning. So after a night that's ideal for messing around on the river, you can expect rain to come splashing in sometime in the morning. Traditionally, the rain normally clears for the trooping of the colour, but it's going to be tight this year. But the afternoon's certainly better than the morning. And Sunday, it looks like a day of sunshine and showers, not quite as warm as Saturday, not quite as sticky. So it's basically a slow start to Saturday, and then in the afternoon, the outside jobs can be done. That's it, Andrew.
Thank you, Francis. Now let's have a look at the national and international headlines from ITN finally. The head of the Libyan mission in London has been ordered to leave within 48 hours. He's reported to have said he approved of plans by Libyan revolutionary committees to murder Libyans in Britain. The Football Association has been fined £8,000 by the UEFA Disciplinary Committee after last night's crowd violence at the Belgian-England match in Turin. Mrs. Thatcher said at the end of the Common Market Summit in Venice that inflation in Britain may already have hit its peak, and the latest retail price index figures show that inflation last month was running at a rate of 21.9%. That's 0.1% more than in April. And that's about it for tonight. This has been Thames News. Have a very good weekend, and I hope you can join us all again on Monday. From all of us on the news team, good night.
Before we continue, a quick reminder of the famine appeal address. It's Jonathan Dimbleby, East African Emergency Appeal, P.O. Box 999, London. That should do it.
Yours is bigger than mine. Me and Mummy always have the same.
You're going to eat it?
What is it?
It's Bird's Eye Crispy Place. It's new. You like it? Don't you touch that.
I will.
You won't.
I will.
Oh, no, you won't.
Why do I get the small one?
Because they make a big one and a small one, and you're small, right?
Mummy's right about you.
New Bird's Eye Crispy Place for big and small fry.
That first cup of Nescafe at breakfast is the best cup of the day. You see, Nescafe's great taste comes from its blend. 3 types of the finest coffee beans. About this many in every cup. The second cup is pretty good, too.
Nescafe. There's no better tasting coffee.
Flight closed.
New Shore Super Dry. Because the underneath you demands new dryness no other aerosol can give. New Shore Super Dry. No other aerosol can keep you so dry. No other roll-on can dry so fast. New Shore Super Dry won't let you down.
Robinson's barley water. Anything else just isn't tennis.
This week's TV Times previews the crucial England-Italy match live on ITV and reveals some of the antics Italian fans get up to. If you're a club golfer, there's a chance to play in this year's Bob Hope British Classic. Find out what it takes to become a sandbagger girl. There's tropically topical fashion from Palm Beach and patterns of 2 attractive summer sweaters for you to knit.
I never knew there was so much in it.
We even meet an unemployed millionaire. And there's our 7-day programme guide in this week's TV Times.